بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله، وبعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. First of all, we'd like to thank the brothers from Trenton, Masjid Muhammad ibn Taymiyyah, and the surrounding areas, or the ones that are responsible for putting together this program. And may Allah reward them, forgive them on their sins, increase them in knowledge, as well as us. This is a reminder for myself and everyone else here. The first part is an introduction, inshallah ta'ala, because I'm pretty sure the brothers are going to carry this. So I just want to go over an introduction, but the thing that I want to discuss is this book that's translated, Ramadan Fatawa, and give an explanation of some of the things that are in there that we are in need of. So I'll do the introduction first, and then we'll begin with that. Ta'rif al-Siyam wa Manzilah, the definition of Siyam and its status in Islam. As-Siyam imsak. Siyam is to abstain from something according to the Arabic language. وهو إمساك شرعا وهو إمساك عن مفطرات من طلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس مع نية. Sheikh Saleh and Fawzan and other than them, they use this definition, and there are other definitions, and that is to refrain from the things that nullify your fast, from Fajr all the way up into the sunset, from the Fajr Thani to all the way up into the sunset with an intention. Sheikh Muhammad ibn Taymiyyah posed a question in Bulugh al-Maram. He says, if a person fasts and then eats something, and then they continue to fast, and they continue to fast till sunset, is that considered fasting? Huh? Is it considered fasting? Yes or no?
Yes. If he forgot, yes. He made it by mistake.
If he forgot, yes.
He ate by mistake.
Okay. It's considered fasting though, right? Because fasting is called imsak, to refrain from something. So it's fasting, right?
Yeah.
According to what? According to the Arabic language, the linguistic meaning. But according to the legislative meaning, is not. It's not fasting. Why? Because it's something that nullified his fast. You with us? And that's eating. He wanted to make a voluntary fast, but he ate. And then maybe about a little bit later, before door coming, or maybe 10 o'clock, he said, okay, well, I'm fasting. Is he fasting? No. Because he did something to break the fast. طيب. وقد أجمع على وجوب الصيام رمضان وأنهم أحد أركان الإسلام. That is a consensus amongst the ulama that fasting is an obligation in Ramadan. And surely it is one of the pillars of Islam. Why? Because it's something that is known as the necessity of the deen. And if anyone denies this, he becomes a kafir, murta'an in Islam, meaning apostating from Islam. قال تعالى في كتاب مجيد شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم شهر فليصمه. Allah may mention in Surah Al-Baqarah that the month of Ramadan is the the month in which He sent down the book of Allah, the Qur'an, and it's a guidance for humanity, and it's a clarification as it relates to the guidance and the criteria between good and bad. فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمْ شَهْرًا فَلْيَصُمْهُ. And whoever witnessed or whoever is alive during the month of Ramadan when it comes in, then he is obligated to fast. He is obligated to fast. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام بني الإسلام على خمس شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وحج البيت وصوم رمضان. The hadith that is collected in Bukhari, hadith number 8, and Sahih Muslim, hadith 16, that the Prophet ﷺ, on authority of, I believe, Abdullah ibn Umar, that Islam is built upon 5. The Shahadatain, and then establish the Salat and giving the Zakat and making a pilgrimage to the house and fasting during Ramadan. Aqsam al-Siyam, the definition, the types of fasting. Siyam Fard wa Siyam Tatawwu'. There are 2 types of fast, the obligatory and non-obligatory. Siyam Fard wa huwa ala thalathati aqsam. And the obligatory fast, it has 3 divisions. How many types of fastings are there? 2. What are they? And the obligatory, how many types does it have?
3.
And that is Siyama Ramadan, Siyama Kafarat, and Siyama Nadar. The fasting of Ramadan, or the fasting that you have to make up those days, and the vowing, the vow, when you vow. Siyama Ramadan, huwa wajib ala kulli, and this is addressed, inshallah ta'ala, this introduction, even though we are all sitting down here, the advice is for the woman. Why we say the advice is for the woman? For 2 reasons. Either we are men that are not acting like men, we're not taking care of our responsibility of our wives, our daughters, our nieces, our aunts, our grandmother. We are not teaching them the religion of Islam. We're not men. We're not teaching them their responsibility and what Allah has placed over us to teach them. Or because the women, they are not learning. So this advice is to the woman, this introduction. Y'all with us? For those 2 reasons. Siyam Ramadan huwa wajib ala kulli muslima. That Ramadan is obligatory upon every woman. Every woman that is what? That's a Muslimah. Baligha. That she reaches the age of discernment. Aqila. And she is sane. If she's insane, fasting is not obligatory on her. Or if she's in a coma and it's Ramadan, does she have to fast? Until she wake up from that coma. Or, may Allah protect her from that, her husband or man knock her out. Knock her out. Is fasting obligatory upon her? Until she wake up from that. Okay, y'all with us? Also, sahiha, ghayr marida, and she have to have good health. Wa muqima, ghayr musafira, and she have to be a resident of that locality. And the last one, tahira min al-hayd wa nifas, and she have to be free from menses and postpartum bleeding. A woman is fasting. 5 minutes before the sunset comes in, her menses come on. Is she fasting? You sure? What if she continues until sunset? Excellent. وهو إمساك عن مفطرات من الطلوع الفجر إلى غروب الشمس مع النية. That they have to refrain from the things that nullify. One of the things that nullify your fast is the menses of the woman. طيب. Sometimes our daughters or our mothers or our aunts or our grandmothers, they in the habit of fasting on Mondays and Thursdays. And they go all the way to Asr, and then they realize, I'm not fasting, I'm not even praying. Okay? So, good intention, but it's not accepted according to the legislative. طيب. قال تعالى في كتاب العزيز يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أيام معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخرى. Allah may mention in Surah Al-Baqarah 183rd 184th that, oh, you who believe, fasting have been prescribed upon you, meaning obligatory. What's the wording in this ayat that makes fasting obligatory? Excellent. كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم, just like it was made obligatory upon the ones that preceded you. لعلكم here is a dua. Perchance you will become successful. أيام معدودات, it's for specific days. فمن كان منكم مريضا, and whoever amongst you that are sick or على سفر, or he's traveling, then they should make those days up at a later time. وبما يجب صيام رمضان, and when do Ramadan become obligatory? The sighting of the moon. كما قال سبحانه فمن شهد منكم الشهر. Whoever witnessed or whoever's alive when the Ramadan come in, or he witnessed it with his eyes, then he is commanded to fast. وقال عليه الصلاة والسلام عن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم يقول إذا رأيتموه فصوموا. If you see the hilal, then you are obligated to fast. وإذا رأيتموه فأفطروا. And if you see it, the month of Shawwal, then you are obligated to break it. فإن غمي عليكم فاقدروا له. Okay, so fasting becomes obligatory when what? The sighting of the moon. So that's the proof, the first proof, for the first point. And the sighting of the moon, it can be by one trustworthy person or two trustworthy individuals. And the ulama differ as it relates to one or two. Okay? Meaning if that person is not known to be deceiving anyone, Muslim or non-Muslim, or someone that always tell the truth, that person is reliable. Also, and the narration, when they narrate a hadith or they narrate something on Islam, they are truthful, they are exact. Okay? They are reliable as it relates to their memorization. Or they are reliable as it relates to, they took down the narration or the information exactly just like the Sheikh said, without adding or subtracting. Okay? These are some of the things that we know as to be someone to be reliable. Tayyab? That was first. So if you have one or two individuals and they are reliable, then you have to fast. And the hadith of Abdullah bin Abbas, I believe the hadith is Abdullah bin Abbas radiyallahu anhuma, قال ترى الناس الهلال. That Abdullah bin Abbas, he says, أن عربية جاء إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال إني رأيت الهلال فقال أتشهد أن لا إله إلا الله قال نعم قال أتشهد أن محمد رسول الله قال نعم قال فأذن في الناس يا بلال أن يصوموا غدا. This hadith is collected by Khamsa وصححه ابن خزيمة وابن حبان ورج النسائي إرسالا وضعفه على باني في الإروال وصحه على باني في الإروال وضعف على باني في الإروال. Al-Albani made this hadith weak as it come in the 907 in Irwa. That a man, an Arab, came to the Prophet ﷺ and he says that I saw the hilal. And he says, do you bear witness that there is no one worthy of being worshipped except Allah? He said, yes. Do you bear witness that that I am Muhammad Rasulullah, that I am Rasulullah? He said, yes. He said, oh Bilal, inform the people, meaning get their attention and inform the people that tomorrow we're going to fast. Make their adhan or inform the people that tomorrow we're going to fast. Some of them say that there's only one narrator based on this hadith. Some say no, first of all because the hadith is not authentic. But the ulama, they differ. So if it's one or two narrators that are reliable, then we start our fasting. What's the other condition for starting that fasting become obligatory upon us? 30 days of Sha'ban. فَإِن غُمِّ عَلَيْكُمْ فَاخْضَرُوا لَهُ. And if it is cloudy, then take Sha'ban as 30 days. So that means we don't deal with Channel 10 News or BBC or whatever they call it, news, on the calculation, and they have a period in the paper when the new moon going to. We don't deal with those calculations. We deal with these two sources only. Tayyib. And what are those things that makes it obligatory for a woman to break her fast? This is the introduction before we get into the that which we want to deal with. The first of all, it's permissible for the woman to break her fast if she is sick. قد أجمع علماء على إباحة فترة للمرء. That is, the ulama have a consensus that if a person is sick, then they can break their fast based on a statement of Allah. وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيدًا. And whoever was sick, then he make his days up for the later time. Tayyib. Sickness is divided into three. There is a sickness that is easy and it doesn't harm you if you continue to fast. That person should fast. There's another sickness. You are sick, but you have a little bit hardship fasting, but you can continue, like having a headache. And the reason why we want to deal with this is because dealing with this subject that we want to deal with is because an obligation have two types. Obligation that is obligatory upon every single Muslim to know, and an obligation that if one of the group of the community do, then it fulfill the responsibility of the whole community and they are free from the sin. But if none of them does it, then all of the community are blameworthy and responsible. Like feeding the hungry, like visiting the sick, like returning the salams if we are in a large group. One person have to do it. So the reason why we want to deal with this aspect, first of all, because our beloved brothers who are more knowledgeable than me will deal with the other subjects as it relates to ahkam al-siyam. And the second is that we want to deal with this situation because we are in a state of confusion or loss as it relates to our health. We want to fast the month of Ramadan, but we eat whatever we want to eat. We let our emotions go however we want to. We sleep whenever we want to. We don't do exercise if there's no benefit. How are you going to pick up the book of Allah and read? Of course we can't be on the level of the Prophet ﷺ that read Baqarah and Ali Imran and Ma'idah and Nisa in one rak'ah. We can't be like that. And his feet swell up so much that his feet, they were cracking and blood came out. And like Masruq ibn Ajda, he also, the Tabi'i, he used to pray so much that his feet would swell up. And some of the other ulama, when you read about their narrations, they died fasting. One of them, Imam Muslim, died and he was just on eating dates. So the thing is, we want to take this and benefit from it so our worship can be up. Also, if you look into our marital problems and the problems that we have in our community, you will find a lot of solution to our problems, our marital problems, in Kitab al-Siyam and Kitab al-Nikah, and also Bab al-Adab, and the chapters dealing with akhlaq and stuff like that. You'll find a solution to all of our problems in there. You will find the solutions to that, inshallah. That's the reason why we want to bring it up. The other thing, a headache. Someone gets a headache. The woman, what the first thing they do, give me a Tylenol. Give me an Advil. And Tylenol are dangerous. That's the lawful drug in the United States that cause more death than anything else. Aspirins. They took it off the market, then they put it back on. Playing games. We have run to the store. But we should know that the most knowledgeable one in the medicine of the Prophet ﷺ was Aisha. And the thing is, how many amongst us in our community can tell you something about the medicine of the Prophet? Now this is the issue. The people that say, this good for you, that good for you, this good for you, you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't know. Because the things that they be saying, like for example, you got one brother or one individual, they have a drink for colds. And every single individual to have a cold, you must take this drink. How you going to take that and its phlegm is yellow? How you going to take that? You got ginger in there. How you going to take that? And you got cayenne pepper in there. How you going to take that? You are selling something that's going to do them more harm. Yeah, man, that was good. You don't even know what it's doing for you. So the thing is, and also if you're in environments where there's no, health insurance like United States or Canada, what you want to do? You want to stop seeking knowledge because you got a headache? Yeah, that's what you're going to do. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala, he says the best knowledge after halal and haram is the medicine of the Prophet. Imam Shafi'i rahimahullah ta'ala informs us that what? That if you establish an Islamic state, have ulama and have doctors. You got to have ulama, you have to have doctors. But Sheikh Muhammad Imam from Yemen, he said that he found that majority of the people get involved in medicine, they go astray. And one of the mashaykhs, an Arar, he said, I found many people that I used to study with, or many people that study deen, Islamic knowledge, when they start to study medicine, they abandon the studying of Islam. Allah Akbar. We don't want to go that way. We want to use it in a way that increase our worship. Another example, I was informing a brother in the Mamlaka about the things, how to be intimate with your wife, that the Prophet left behind for us. How to be intimate with your wife. He said, you know what? Us as Arab in this locality, we take that as something simple. We don't need that. We need to knock out right away. Quote unquote. Many of us are searching, even in America, for this and that and this and that. But if you read the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, the answers are there. And we're going to come to it inshallah ta'ala. So anyway, the sickness of 3. So anyway, we said the second, for example, a person get a headache. A person get a headache either on the forehead, on top of the head, behind the head, on half of the head, or the whole head. But let's say, for example, a fasting person. If you get a headache and you are fasting, it's going to be on the forehead. And on the forehead, there are 3 types of headaches. If it is sharp, a sharp, razor sharp pain, and it's on the forehead, that's because you're eating too many spicy foods. And that heat that's in your stomach is shooting up this damage in the liver channel. And the headache is sharp and characteristic. How you know? One of the signs is that when you brush your teeth, you bleed easily. Or you have an odor, you use Listerine, double mint, bubble gum, whatever you use, Alka-Frey, whatever you use. You can't shake that odor from your mouth. There's too much heat in the stomach and it rises. If the headache is on the forehead and it is dull, but it's a heavy sensation like you can't hardly lift up your head, and it's as though someone wrapped your head in a towel, that is due to eating too much dairy or fried or greasy foods or things that produce a lot of phlegm, and it slows down your digestive system. But if you are fasting and you didn't wake up for suhoor, you're going to notice that that headache and characteristic is dull. It's a dull characteristic. But it's not heavy, it's just dull. That's meaning that you don't have enough nutrients in your system. And you have a headache there. So keep fasting. When you get finished, you know how to treat the headache. Khalas. Without Advil. And don't break your fast. And the other type of sickness is a sickness that if you continue to fast, you're going to harm yourself. And you're going to delay the recovery period. This one you have to break your fast. Allah says, لا تقتلوا أنفسكم. Do not kill yourselves. طيب? ولا تقتلوا أنفسكم. Do not kill yourself. As he mentioned in Baqarah 180, as he mentioned in Nisa 29. The other thing that you can break your fast for as musafara. Allah says, O ala safar. And if you are traveling, and we're going to make mention of this if we have time, then you should break your fast. But traveling have 3 types as well. The traveling that is easy, and it doesn't cause you any hardship. And the traveling, it causes you a little hardship, but you can continue your fast. And the traveling, it causes you great hardship, and it can harm your health if you continue your fast. If it harms your health, then you should break it. Because the Prophet says, لَيْسَ مِنْ بِرْ الصَّوْمِ فِي السَّفَرِ. That is not part of righteousness to fast while you are traveling. And it's going to cause you harm. Okay? So that's the introduction as it relates to that. The thing that we like to deal with and to bring your attention to is this book that we have, Ramadan Fatawa. It's a very beneficial book for the English-speaking communities. But I like to give some explanation, medical explanation as it relates to the ruling that they gave. And the first one is on page 63. And I'll read the text bi'idhnillah. It says, fasted without taking the suhoor. A person went to sleep before the suhoor in Ramadan whilst having the intention to take the suhoor. But he slept through to the morning. Is his fast correct or not? The answer by Sheikh Abdul Aziz ibn Baz, rahimahullah. His fast is correct. Sheikh Abdul Aziz ibn Baz, when he died, how old was he? 89? Huh? It was like 91. How old was he when he became blind? Huh? About 18. Or around that, no problem. What collection of hadith did he memorize? Sahih Bukhari. Also, Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz, they used to always ask him to be a judge, and he used to always reject it. So he was a scholar. Anyway, he says his fast is correct because the suhoor is not a condition for the correctness of the fast. Rather, it is preferable. It is preferable. You should take the suhoor. Should. You should. Not must. You should. Okay? For that which the Prophet ﷺ says, تَسَاحَرُوا فَإِنَّ فِي السَّحُورِ الْبَرَكَةِ. I recommend you to take the suhoor because in it is a blessing. Or certainly in it is a blessing. The hadith is agreed upon. I think the hadith of Anas. So the title is Fasted Without Taking the Suhoor. The medical benefit. Breakfast. Breakfast is a good breakfast strengthens the spleen and the stomach energy. And you need the stomach in order to produce blood and energy, so that your worship can be strong. For example, they designed the car after the human body. So the number one thing in a car is what? The engine. So the number one thing in the body is the spleen. Is the thing that produces blood and energy. And without blood and energy, your body cannot function. So a good breakfast strengthens the spleen and the stomach energy and the yang for the day. What's the meaning of the yang? Y-A-N-G for the day? It means it gives you that energy. It gives you that energy that you need. You know, for example, the man is yang and the woman is yin. Or another example, the day is yang and the night is yin. Meaning what? The day gives you what? Gives you energy. And the night is what? Relaxation. Likewise the man. You know the man. Y'all with us? The man. The man has got the, you know, it's the man, right? Huh? Then why a woman suffer from low sex drive? Then why a woman suffer from a low sex drive? There are problems, 3 problems, but we're not going to mention. Why a woman suffer from low sex drive? Huh? Can anyone answer that? Not, Yami is away, but the main thing she suffered from a low sex drive is because the woman is the pot on the stove with water. You got a pot on the stove with water. Can that water heat itself up? No, it need that man to heat it up. The problem, we don't know how to heat a woman up. But we running around with all of these muscles, bench pressing, 350, 500, but we don't know how to heat the woman up. So she got low drive. You come home with all them flowers, it ain't doing it, ain't buzzing her. Why? Because you don't know how to talk to her, you don't know how to caress her, you don't know what the Prophet did. And we're going to get to it, inshallah, bismillah. Y'all with us? That's just a side note. So, recommended. What are some of the things that are recommended so you can have a strong fast and you can increase in your worship in Ramadan? It's recommended to eat 1 grains like millet, corn, or oatmeal. And during the summer, because your digestive system is at its minimum and it can't take the heat, slightly cooler wheat is recommended. And also nuts, seeds, and a little seasonal fruit from that season, like watermelon. And we'll make mention of it. You should avoid energetically cold and dampness producing food that suppress the extended morning yang energy and weakens the digestion fire, like fruit juices, raw food, excessive dairy products. Too much cold, it damages your system. It damages your system. That's why we are running around with all these stomach pains, especially in the summertime. Everybody they can't drink no water like this. It gotta be ice cold. You go out there and get a slush and you eat it, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get a brain freeze. You're doing the same thing because everything that you eat and drink, your stomach must heat it up. Your spleen and stomach must heat it up. So what you want to do, you want to eat things that are naturally cooling, like watermelon. It's a natural Viagra and also a clear summer heat. And it removes heat for any infections. And it gives you the energy. It's 95% water and all of the other benefits. And it removes thirst. And what? Pineapples remove thirst. And cucumbers and mangoes remove thirst. These are the things you want. You with us? And not all of that cold stuff, because it's going to damage you. And we're going to get to the cold things, and you're going to see on the one, inshallah, if we get to it. Also, so it weakens the digestive fire, that stomach that have to heat it up. So the spleen energy deficiency, if you have spleen energy deficiency, is because, note the title, fasted without taking the sahur. When you can keep going like we do without eating regular meals, it harms you. Some people, they always say, I'm not a breakfast individual. The Prophet ﷺ recommended us to eat it. Why? Because in it is a barakah. From some of them barakahs, the medical benefit of it that we extract from it is that if you have irregular dietary habits like eating cold, raw foods, irregular timing of the meals, excessive thinking, chronic disease, it will deplete the energy of the spleen. It will deplete it. And you will be an individual that will suffer from a loss of appetite. You will always have loose stools. You will have abdominal distension, especially, or abdominal pain, especially after eating. You will be tired and laxitude. And you will have the weakness of the four limbs. And you will suffer from nausea. So therefore, the things that will strengthen the spleen in the stomach from the grains are millet, corn, oat, like oatmeal and rice. And from the vegetables, carrots, cabbage of all types, fennels, potatoes, peas, squash, pumpkin, soybeans. And it's on tape, that's why I'm going fast. Meat, like beef, veal, duck, goose, lamb, goat, and fish, brass, carp, macaron, sardines, if you don't have hypertension, thyroid. Raw food, sweet apples, dates, figs, grapes, papaya. And from the berries, fennel tea and grape juice. And fennel tea, especially for the infants. Also, we have these problems also because the Prophet ﷺ informs us what? About eating habits. And why we have so many problems eating? Because the Prophet ﷺ, the hadith is weak. The hadith is weak, but the meaning is authentic. Al-ajra min ash-shaytan, that rushing is from shaitan. When you eat and you rush, Sheikh Salih Fawzan says, the hadith is weak, and other than that, Al-Albani. But you should rush, the meaning of the hadith is authentic. You should rush to good. وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةُ, that you should rush to the forgiveness of Allah. But as it relates to the worldly affair, I got to get to that place, I got to go get this car, I got to go to the store. On these things you should not rush. And also in eating, you see people when they break their fast or when they taking their sahur, they're eating like they are dogs or something, or cat. I mean just eating wild, like real fast. And they are the most individuals that have stomach problems or problems with their digestive system. If they have that, they're going to have problems all day during the fast or weeks. The other thing, the Prophet ﷺ gave us etiquette. He also informs us of other things, inshallah ta'ala, that we have mentioned, inshallah. On page 63, the next one, it says, prefer fruit items to break the fast with. The question, which food items are preferred for a fasting person to break his fast with? The response, the most preferred to break the fast with are fresh dates, and if they are undesirable, unavailable, then the dry dates, and if they are also unavailable, then water. And the evidence is from the hadith of the Prophet, the hadith of Aisha, who said when the Prophet ﷺ, and I think it's on weakness of the hadith, but the meaning, as Al-Albani informs us in Tirmidhi, is authentic. The hadith is weak, but the action of the Prophet, this is what he did. Al-Albani may mention in Tirmidhi that the meaning of the hadith, that the Prophet ﷺ used to break his fast with dates, and if they were unavailable, then with dry dates, and if they were unavailable, then he used to take water. There's another hadith that I was speaking about, but inshallah we'll come to it inshallah. However, if none of these are available to him, then it is permissible for him to break his fast with any permissible food items. And still, if nothing is available to him, then he should simply make intention to break his fast. The medical benefit of that. The Prophet ﷺ used to break with dates. You have in our masajid, we have dates. From the action of the Prophet, this is what he used to break with. And we should benefit from that. But in our masajid, we have dates and fruit and all of that. Fruit is a bad thing to break your fast with. Why? Because the point that we just made mention of, you ain't eat all day long. And the first thing that you put in your system is cold things, bad. Majority of the fruit are cold. Apple is cold. Pineapple, cold. Pear, cold. And the meaning of cold, when you eat it, whether or not it seems hot or not, it's cold in your body. Okay? The Prophet ﷺ broke with a date. Now look at the benefit of dates. First of all, the properties of dates are warm, so it warms your body. And it's going to your stomach. And it's sweet. Anything that is sweet is a natural pain reliever. Anything that is naturally sweet is your natural pain reliever. It goes to the liver, the spleen, the stomach, and the lungs. It tonifies, it makes better in your body, it energy and blood. He broke with what? Dates. And it immediately gave him energy and blood. A fasting person is what? Tired, weak, beat down. How you going to make it to the night prayer? How you going to make it to the Isha before that? How you going to make it home with your family? Your family wants you to perform. You know I'm tired. When you come in a house, you got a hard job, you can't come in your house and talk about I'm tired. I can't do that. That's the most hatest thing that the woman want to hear. A man is a man. She don't want to hear that you tired. I don't care if you got 3 wives. You coming home talking about tired. I mean, what she needs you for? Right or wrong? You tired, you can't help your son. You tired, you can't take out the trash. She wants something from the store. I'm tired. But the only thing you ain't tired for is this. And you don't do it right. That's all you do. Just jump like that. You don't take no shower. You don't do nothing. Just like that. You think she wants you? Be a man. Anyway, the highlighting point is the dates are warm. They are energy and blood. They give you energy and blood. And they produce extra body fluids. If you are fasting, like for example, your car going on gas. Your car is what? On a little bit gas. What does the thermometer start to do? Start to heat up. So if you fasting all day, your body is doing what? It's heating up. So you need more body fluids. So dates produce more body fluids for you. And it also relieves weakness out of childbirth. A woman just had a baby. You need to keep her in places that are sunny. Because she lost a lot of blood. So if she lost a lot of blood, she's going to be what? Cold. And tired. So you keep her in the sunny places, and also you give her a lot of dates, because it will tonify her body and warm her body, and it will energize her. But we only eat dates in Ramadan in America, unfortunately. Or it relieves insomnia. It treats abdominal pain and treats anemic. Dates are considered known for being sweet in nutrients. They contain oil, calcium, the best source of calcium, iron, and iron and other than that. Dates are known, the nicknames that they are called the crown of the sweets. What is a crown? What does a crown mean? The top of the line. If you want sweets, why we go run for the Twinkies and the double dogs, but we don't run to sweets? To the date, the crown of the sweets. The thing that Imam Muslim died upon. Dates. He didn't have anything else. And it's an ideal food because it's easily to digest. It gives the fast extra energy. It gives fast extra energy to a tired human body. It gives you energy instantly after taking it. Breaking fast with eating dates help to avoid overeating. And when you overeat, you got food stagnation. That food is going to stay right there. But when you eat them dates, it prevents you from overeating. And we said, the Prophet ﷺ, he taught us etiquettes and eating, right or wrong? He taught us etiquettes, right? The hadith of Miqdam, he said that the Prophet ﷺ in Kitab al-Zuhd wa Wara' and Bulugh, he says there is not from the children of Adam that is a vessel that is more harmful for him to fill than his stomach. Let me find the hadith. عن مقدام ابن معكرب رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما ملأ ابن آدم وعاء شرا من بطن. That there is nothing that the children of Adam that can fill that a vessel that is more evil than the stomach. And then the hadith goes on that you should leave a third for air, and a third for food, and a third for what? Water or drinks. Okay? Don't stuff yourself. The ulama, they different as it relates to the authenticity of the hadith, but Al-Albani make the hadith hasan. So we should keep that hadith in mind. Also, when our body absorbs the nutrients values of dates, it satisfies our hunger. And also, water is good because it helps us get the body fluids that we need for our body to function. That was on page 63. The next one is on page 65. He says, Fajr is approaching and I need to make a ghusl and I haven't had suhoor. Y'all with us? Huh? Y'all have this book? Huh? Y'all don't have this book? This book may be about maybe 7 years old or more. You should get this book, even if you have to get a copy. Tell you? Page 65. The Fajr is approaching and I need to make ghusl and I haven't had suhoor. Okay, y'all have the title. That's the title of the question. Y'all with us? Y'all with us? Look like y'all sleeping or something. Huh? Maybe inshallah after this one you want to talk about health after this one. Tell you. Let's read the answer. It is Tayyib. It says, if the time for Fajr is approaching in Ramadan and I need to make ghusl, but there is not enough time to perform it, nor eat the suhoor, should I perform the ghusl and miss the suhoor? Or should I eat the suhoor and delay the ghusl until after Fajr? Respond. It is better to eat the suhoor because the Prophet ﷺ informs us of the hadith تساحروا فإن في السحور بركة. To take the suhoor because it's a barakah, and delay the ghusl because its time is plenty, or plentiful, should say. It's better to say its time is plentiful. Plenty is an adjective or what? Plenty with a Y, is that adjective? I think it should be plentiful, because after it should be adjective. It should be an adjective, so it should be plentiful, not plenty. That's in the English language. So if Fajr have arrived and you have not made ghusl, then make it and pray, and your fast will not be affected. It has been confirmed on the authority of Aisha and Salima radiallahu anhuma that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam entered the time of Fajr while in the state of impurities from having had relations with his wife, then he used to make ghusl and fast. The hadith is agreed upon, the meaning of the hadith. From that point, like we said, there's a need for us to explain this, or to bring attention to the Muslim community in United States, to bring attention to them, because majority of our marital problems comes from overlooking the action of the Prophet ﷺ. And if we focus and implement that which the Prophet left, we're going to have smiles all day long in our house, because we're being obedient to Allah, and we're fulfilling the rights of our wife, and our wife are giving our rights to the end, and we're giving the children their rights. So the night of the Prophet ﷺ consists of how many things? 2 things, 3 things, 5 things? How many things that his night consists of that we know just from his actions and stuff? Take a guess from your reading, from your okay, what are they? Praying?
Time with family.
Time with his family? What you mean time with his family? Relationship? Talking to his wife after Isha? Excellent, excellent. That's important. Okay, the talking and the intimacy is the same, because talking is the introduction to intimacy. And that the Prophet ﷺ used to talk to Aisha after Isha. And in the hadith that described 11 men and how they were with their wives, read the end of the hadith and you'll find out. If you just talk to your wife, you don't need to buy nothing. You have everything there. You have half of the battle. Now it's dependent on you to heat everything else up. I'm serious. Your wife, first of all, you've been going 10 hours, 12 hours. When you come home, what? What? You come home, she cooked, she ironed your clothes for tomorrow, she put the children to sleep, she cleaned up, she taking off your shoes, she giving you something to drink as soon as you come in the house, and the only thing you do is like this. No shower, nothing, just like that. How in the world she want to be intimate with you? I mean, what? She don't have no feelings? She want to be treated like that? That's how we treat our women? Islam don't tell us to respect the woman? The Prophet used to talk. She want to know how you was doing. She was worrying about you. Yeah, she talked to you maybe a couple of times. How you was doing. You asked her, how was the children? How was your day? And khalas, okay? Bismillah. The Prophet ﷺ, he prayed at night. No, he talked to his wife. He went to sleep. He prayed, and he was intimate with his wife. Now you staying up all night long. You don't think your wife want to be intimate with you? You doing something else. You in another room. Your wife in the bed. You don't think she don't got... Come on. The Prophet ﷺ got up and been intimate with his wife. Not only that, he prayed. There's another narration that Aisha radiallahu anha, she was doing like this. And then when she grabbed both of the heels of the Prophet, this is what we get, that when you make sujood, your ankles should be together, your heels should be close together. She grabbed both of the ankles with one hand. The Prophet was praying. She was searching for the Prophet. So that's a proof that he prayed at night. There's other proof that he prayed at night. But also this is another hadith, is that what? He was intimate with his wife. During Ramadan, you know what we do? You know what we do? We hang out. We break our fast with the brothers. No problem. No problem. We make maghrib. We stay in the masjid. We might go home and then come right back 5 minutes or something like that. Then after that, we go to Isha, then make the night prayer. And then you got a half an hour left. You talking about racing home. It's going to take you about 5 minutes to 10 minutes to get out the masjid. That's 20 minutes. Then you're going to see your friend. That's another 5 minutes. Then you got to start up your car. Now how are you going to be intimate with your wife? How are you going to be intimate with your wife? 5 minutes. That's what she deserves. That's why we have so many problems. Look around in our cities. Look around. How many divorces we have on our tongues? So the highlighting point is that the Prophet ﷺ was intimate with his wife. And the Prophet, majority of the time, he went to sleep during Ramadan. The only time that we know from the narration that he stayed up was the last 10 days of Ramadan. He stayed up. He stayed up. But you know, the last 10 days, first of all, in Ramadan, we shopping all day long. Shopping and cooking. And majority of the cooking is coming from the wife. So what worship is she doing? After she cook, clean up and all that stuff, get the children right, what's she going to do? Go to sleep. You go out and pray. Then you come back and try to make 5 minutes with her. And this goes on, and this goes on, this goes on. And then the last 10 days, you give her a bunch of money. The last 10 days when your family's supposed to be in the masjid, praying, asking for forgiveness, to increase us in provisions, to protect us, die on Islam, die as Salafy. We out there shopping for the newest overgarment. Come on. The last 10 days, it's time to shop for Eid clothes. Let's shop now. Our thinking is wrong. Ramadan is not for shopping. Ramadan for increasing classes, increased worship. The recitation of the book of Allah. To be more generous, to be more honest. To teach your children more, to learn more. To sacrifice more. The last 10 days we got time to shop. The last 10 days. The last 10 days we got time to shop. And the Prophet ﷺ used to tie his izar. He didn't even have intimacy with his wife the last 10 days. We got time to shop. Halal, right? It's permissible to be intimate with your wife the last 10 days, right? Permissible, right? The Prophet ain't even do it. Because he wanted to get closer to Allah. Aina nahnu min ha'ulai. Now tell me, do we have a successful Ramadan or not? This year in, year out. So that's the highlighting point. That's the highlighting point for that. But the other thing that I like to make your attention to, that the harmful of staying up all night long. There are many cases that for the people that stay up all night long, it's harmful. And one of the things that is harmful on you, that some people, they pass out. After they be intimate with their wife, immediately after that, they feel tired. They are tired and they feel dizzy. And the reason why, either The reason why, either for three reasons. One is that he don't have enough energy in his body, what we call kidney yang deficiency. He can't heat up his body, the right of the kidney. And this person that is like that, most of the time they suffer from, we call it impotence. And also they suffer from decrease of libido. And also after being intimate, they get dizzy or tired. Or the kidney yin deficiency, meaning they don't have enough fluids in their body. And they suffer from decrease of libido. Also, they suffer from poor memory. You want to memorize a lot during Ramadan. And also, the third thing is spleen, blood, and heart deficiency, which the end result is poor memory. So these are things that we need to tonify, because we want to maximize on our ibadah during Ramadan, especially strengthen our memory, so that we can try to preserve Islam as best way as possible. And the best tonic for all of this is sleep. Sleep is better than 100 tonics. Sleep is better than 100 tonics. You can take whatever Red Bull and 5 Energy you want, or whatever you want to take. Sometimes your body have to shut down. The companions radiallahu anh, they was in the masjid waiting for the Prophet to come out and make a isha, and their heads were bobbing, because night is a source of relaxation. And this is what we have to take advantage of. Break our fast, make the night prayer, run straight home, go to sleep, get up for the suhoor. And from Fajr all the way to there, maybe after Asr, because Asr is long, take a little nap, and then after that you can go. On page 70 it says the fast of a young child who has not yet attained puberty. Page 70 of that. Anyway, we'll skip that. For a young child, the most important thing is to strengthen the diet of the children so that they can fast more. Inshallah, we skip that, but that's the most important. That's one of the important things. The next one who is incapable of fasting. That is on page 70. The elderly people, it says, the fast of one who is, where is it at? Page 70? No, it's page 71. One who is incapable of fasting. Question: my father is approximately 70 years of age. That's the highlighting point. 70 years of age, or elder. For 3 years now. For 3 years now, he has been afflicted with sickness that I hope from Allah is a mercy from him and an expiation for his sins. The sickness has caused him to be incapable of fasting, so much so that if he fasts, his hearing, seeing, and self deteriorates. So he is incapable of fasting Ramadan. Inform us of what is required. The answer: if the condition of your father is as you have stated, then the fasting of Ramadan is not obligatory upon him. Rather, it is obligatory upon him to feed the people poor in place of each day of Ramadan, half a sa'a, or wheat, dates, rice, or the likes of that which he feeds his family. This is based on the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Fear Allah to the best of your capability. And also, Allah does not burden a soul with which is greater than it can bear. لَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا. And with Allah is the success, and may Allah send blessing, prayers, salutation upon our Prophet and his family and his companions. That's by the permanent committee. First of all, a person that is elder in age, there is something that they can do. The reason why most of the time they are tired and stuff like that is because their body is deteriorating. So we will use a formula for, and they will suffer for being fatigued or lack of strength or poor appetite. And other than that, the thing that you have to do, you have to tonify the spleen and the stomach energy, and there's formulas to take care of that will aid them. So maybe inshallah ta'ala, if we know someone that meet that criteria, this will be the formula to do, and it works wonders. Bismillah. Page 72, not having to fast while traveling. Question, for what type of journey is not having to fast permissible? The answer, the journey for which it is permissible to shorten the prayer and not fast is approximately 83 kilometers. There are some amongst the scholars who do not specify a distance for the journey. Rather, all this is commonly understood as a journey amongst the people, constitute as a journey. Whatever the people consider a journey is a journey. For example, for us, from here to Chester, from Philadelphia to Chester is not a journey for us. From Philadelphia to Willow Grove, that's not a journey. From Philadelphia to Camden, we don't consider that traveling. That's just over the bridge. Okay? So whatever the people consider traveling is traveling. So yep. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to shorten the prayer if he traveled 3 miles. And for the impermissible journey, it is not acceptable to shorten the prayer, meaning that you travel to disobey Allah. For any evil acts is not appropriate from the such as impermissibility. However, some of the people of knowledge do not make a difference between a journey undertaken for any evil acts or a journey of obedience to Allah for the generality of the evidence available. And ultimately, the complete knowledge is with Allah. This is by Ibn Taymiyyah. Some of the problems that we come in contact with traveling that we should, that will aid us inshallah ta'ala, so don't get scared. Because someone from amongst us is going to travel this Ramadan, bi'idhnillah. And one of the things that we come in contact with traveling is diarrhea. And either acute or chronic diarrhea. And usually chronic diarrhea, watery or soft stools with undigested food particles, bloating after meals, improvement with pressure or warm. When you put pressure or warm to it, then your stomach gets better. Or flaturance after meal, or physical weakness or lack of appetite. When you meet any of these conditions, then the thing will be to supplement the spleen and the stomach by first avoiding raw and thermally cool and cold foods like salads, fruit and fruit juices, dairy products, and frozen foods and canned foods. You should stay away from those things. Those things that are recommended to get rid of this diarrhea, and so that you can be strong for your fast and continue your fast, is boil or steam warm foods that build up the spleen and the energy, combined with mildly spices like you cook with ginger or garlic to protect your stomach from getting sick, or have honey to settle it like the Prophet used or told the people to use. So some of the things that you want to do, you want to eat is beef. And the fruit that you want to use is steamed fruit, because the cold will increase the diarrhea. Because diarrhea, when your bowels come out, it must be solid. And if it's not solid, that means you're eating too many greasy things, too many dairy products, or too many cold things. So if you eat regular fruit, like the people do, they got diarrhea, they're just eating fruit, it's going to increase. And the suffer is going to be from you. It's going to be on you. You're going to suffer more. So what you want to do, if you want to eat fruit, you want to steam the fruit. And with us, steam apples or blueberries. And blueberries is going to protect you from infection and other than that. And vegetables, you want to use, we call it pure carrots and mushrooms and you want to use honey or some brown sugar. And you want to use fennel tea for the beverage. And from the grains, that would stop diarrhea is rice, plain rice. And also millet. And you want to use cinnamon or cinnamon and honey in your dishes. And that type of diarrhea is because the stomach energy and the spleen energy is deficient. Or your stomach and your spleen is not able to heat up your system, and therefore you have diarrhea. There's another type of diarrhea due to damp cold in the large intestines. You have a greasy diet, or you have too much cold in your system. So the symptoms are a tendency to clear, watery stool, or undigested food particles. Improvement of stomach aches with warmth, or worsen with pressure. Aversion to cold, headache sensation. That headache sensation is going to be a heaviness. So you should avoid, the causes is excessive cold foods, like iced tea, which is a common cause of diarrhea in children during the summertime. And what you want to do, expel the cold. So you want to avoid raw, cold, and cold foods. And the ones that you want to do, you want to boil or steam your meals. And by using ginger or pepper. And you want to, for the grains, you want to use oat, millet, rice. And the spices, you want to use ginger, pepper, licorice root, and cinnamon. And this is the last diarrhea that we want to use. Is called the infectious diarrhea, where you have too much heat in the large intestines, or people that suffer from acne. Or early in the morning, you see they have an acne breakout, or their lips are bright red in the morning. As a man, as though he put lipstick on, but he don't have no lipstick. That means you have too much heat in the intestines. And if you have that, the diarrhea is going to be like a dark color, like a dysentery diarrhea. And it's going to be foul smelling to stinking stools. So, possible bowel movement with blood, or stomach aches that improve after bowel movement, or hot burning sensation around the exit of the waste that comes out, and dark urine with thirst. You are thirsty, but you don't have the desire to drink. And mostly that is due to inappropriate or spoiled foods when you eat, or an infection in the intestines. So therefore, stay away from warm and hot foods. Those foods that you should eat from the fruit are bananas, pears, honeydew, melon, oranges, cranberries. From the vegetables, eggplant, banana sprout, cucumber, spinach, mung beans, and dandelion. And from the teas, green tea, black tea, caramel tea. And from the grains, corn. And from the dairy products, yogurt. That's as it relates to that. The next one, inshallah ta'ala, if we still have time, is on page 74 and 75. He says, the rolling regarding wet dreams in Ramadan. Question by Sheikh Salih Fawzan, answer. If one, and the reason why we mention that, because sometimes we suffer from that. Inshallah, the cure is easy, bi'idhnillah. If one who is fasting have a wet dream during the day in Ramadan, does this nullify his fast or not? And should he perform the ghusl? Response. If one who is fasting has had a wet dream during the day in Ramadan, then his fast is sound and is not affected by the wet dream, because he had not done so intentionally. However, it is obligatory for him to perform the ghusl, so as to perform the prayer To be prompt in performing the ritual purification is better, but not obligatory. And Allah knows best. By Sheikh Salih Fawzan. The reason why people, yes, the reason why people have this coming out, having this dream during their sleep, it's either due to a deficiency in the kidney or too much heat in the liver or the heart. And what are the causes? Even if you don't understand that, what are the causes? The causes for having these type of dreams, and you might have it during Ramadan, don't think anything is wrong with you, is long-standing disease. You might have a chronic illness that is not cured. Therefore, you're going to have these dreams. When you go to sleep, it's going to happen like that, and you didn't do anything. So, yep. Or you have a prolonged period of overwork. You're always working. You always work. And that's going to exhaust your kidneys. Or you have extreme lifestyle. Or you have excessive sexual activities. You're always with your wife. Always with your wife. And therefore, the result is that you're going to have these dreams. Or a depletion of body fluids. You always lose a lot of fluids. And the brothers, they don't even know. When it get hot, you just see people just sweating like crazy. The problem stems from the kidneys. And when you sweating like that, you need to take in more sour properties to retain the body fluids, and so that you don't dehydrate. You just see them, they just come out, all of a sudden sweat just pouring everywhere. These people, they have a lot of problems with that. More sour problem. Like green apples. Like the Chinese woodberries, or like lemons. Or they have a loss of blood. They have a lot of loss of blood. The result is they're going to have these dreams. Or because their parents have weak kidneys. And most of the time, whatever your parents have, you want to get it too. So one of the breakdowns, so inshallah, there is treatment from that. But to march on, inshallah, there is treatment for that. The next one that he may mention, while fasting, he is aroused, then let it come out with his hand or something, because of the people that are in their hair. I don't want to say that word. So anyway, that is on, what page is it? Okay, that's on page 75. If a Muslim is aroused during the day in Ramadan, and he finds no recourse but to do the M word, does this nullify his fast, and does he have to make up for this day and make any expiation for this act? The response: doing this act in Ramadan or other than Ramadan is prohibited based on the ayat and Ma'arij 29 through 31. Okay? Except with their wives and the women, the slaves or captives whom their right hand possesses. Okay? So one who is fasting during the day and then does this must make repentance to Allah and also make up the fast for the particular day. There's no expiation to make, because the expiation is specific only to one who commits the sexual intercourse during that day. And with Allah's success, and may Allah send prayer and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad and his family and his companions. Please. Also, I'd like to add the hadith of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Ya mahshar al-shabab, min istata' minhu al-bal' falyatazawwaj. Oh youngster, oh youth, if you have the capability, financial or physically, then I recommend you to get married. And then he goes on, if you're not able to, فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِالصَّوْمِ. If you're not able to, fast. He did not say, satisfy your desire with yourself. He said fast. Y'all with us? Because fasting is a shield for you. Sheikh Saleh Fawzan says fasting, it will break that desire down, in other words. A rough meaning, as he explained the hadith in Bulugh. The reason why we want to bring this up is that people who have a desire to get married, if you do this, it is very harmful, because habitual this action equals no babies during 3 years of marriage. There was a person that was married for 3 years. He was not able to get his wife was not able to conceive in 3 years. Why? Because he was utilizing his time for unlawful means. And also there was another person that suffered, wasn't able to get his family pregnant for 18 months. And the reason why he was doing that. And there are other things that we like to speak about, but inshallah ta'ala, we're going to stop there. وصلى الله عليه نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وسبحانك اللهم وبحمدك واشهد ان لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك. آخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.